Most food historians believe French fries are actually a Belgian invention. One theory says they originated in the 1680s with poor people who'd resort to frying potatoes instead of fish. During World War I, fries were popular with soldiers stationed in Belgium's French-speaking areas, which may be how they came to be called French fries. This company makes its frozen fries from russet potatoes. Russets are oval, so they produce longer fries than a rounder-shaped variety would. Russets are also sufficiently crunchy when fried, and their lower-than-average sugar content means their flesh stays white longer. When the potatoes arrive at the factory, they travel along rollers that rub off any foreign matter, things such as soil, small rocks, and plant parts. The rollers also scrape off the eyes. The potatoes then enter the washing station. As they spin in a revolving cage, water jets spray their surface, cleaning them thoroughly. Next stop, a sorting machine that divides the potatoes by size. It's made up of successive levels of vibrating grids. The shaking forces the smaller potatoes through the grid openings, separating them from the larger potatoes. Big potatoes become classic strip-shaped fries. Small ones become ring-shaped or cube-shaped fries. After sorting, the potatoes drop into a collection bin. Once full, it releases the potatoes into a giant steamer. After about 10 seconds in the pressurized steam, the skins are soft enough to come off with just a little pressure. That happens next in this machine, called the peeler. It looks like a giant clothes dryer, except that the drum is lined with brushes. As the drum tumbles, the bristles rub off the skins. As the skinless potatoes exit the peeler, workers inspect them, tossing any that have green or rotten parts or pieces of skin still stuck to them. The type of fries in production determines which of two systems to do the chopping. A series of rotary mechanical slicers, or a hydraulic system in which running water thrusts the potatoes against cutting blades. The freshly cut potato pieces drop into a canal. Flowing water transports them to a conveyor belt that will move them through the next phases. Now for a high-tech quality check. Each and every piece passes by a camera in which a computer analyzes size and color. Any substandard fry to be is flagged and an air jet blows it off the production line. The good pieces fall into a water tank. As they soak, sugar leaches out of the flesh so that they'll all turn out the same color once they're cooked. Then, a process known as blanching. The pieces go into hot water, then cold water. This firms up the flesh and makes the potato flavor more pronounced. Then it's into the fryer. The potatoes cook for about 2 minutes in non-hydrogenated vegetable oil. As the French fries leave the fryer, excess oil drains down through holes in the conveyor belt to a collection pan below. The fries now pass through the freezer area, which is between -15 and -25 degrees Celsius. They take about 10 minutes to freeze. Once they do, an oscillating conveyor belt deposits them into chutes. Each chute has a built-in scale set to the package weight, which for this production run is 4 kilograms. Once that quantity accumulates, the bottom of the chute opens and the fries drop into a plastic bag. All the customer has to do is drop these frozen French fries into boiling oil for 2 to 3 minutes, and they're ready to serve. Millions of pizzas travel daily from the frozen food section of the supermarket to the family dinner table. Thick or thin crust, meat or vegetarian, their convenience makes them a staple in the freezer. But how do they end up tasting so fresh when they start out so frozen? Making frozen pizzas requires a maze of machines. To make the dough for the crust, they combine flour, salt, sugar, water, yeast, and oil in a large mixer. And they throw in a bit of cornmeal for flavor. The mixer turns the ingredients for about 4 minutes. This is one powerful machine. A truck transmission drives the steel bars that knead the dough. The dough rises for about half an hour. Then they feed it into a chunking machine which divides the big blob into smaller pieces. The chunks travel to a sheeting machine that rolls them into a flat sheet 2.5 centimeters thick. A light dusting of flour keeps the dough from sticking to the machinery. A series of rollers, called quick reducers, give the dough an even consistency. A flour brush massages the dough, ensuring a smooth surface. Next, stainless steel spikes pierce the dough with holes 7 to 10 millimeters deep. These holes will stop air pockets from forming in the dough. A large plastic roller with several round forms cuts the circular shape of the pizza crust. The machine automatically separates the leftover dough. The factory remixes it with fresh dough for the next batch. A conveyor takes the dough circles to their next destination, the oven. They bake for 2 minutes between 200 and 315 degrees Celsius. 6 chambers inside the oven automatically control the temperature pattern to ensure that each one bakes evenly. Next stop, the tomato sauce. A tank pumps a steady supply of sauce into a reservoir, drenching a roller turning inside. A plastic board then scrapes the sauce onto the crusts passing below. The excess sauce drips down, replenishing the reservoir. Mounds of pre-shredded mozzarella are ready to be added. A cheese applicator machine controls the output so that the mozzarella forms an even layer. Large hoppers load heaps of pepperoni, sausage, and other meat toppings into a meat applicator. As with the tomato sauce and cheese, the meat toppings cascade down on the pizza crusts. The pizza is now ready for inspection. Workers take samples off the line and weigh the crust, sauce, cheese, and meat to ensure the equipment dispense the right amount of each. Next, the pizzas enter a spiral freezer called a blast cell, where they spend about 20 minutes at minus 31.6 degrees Celsius. An overwrapping machine applies a clear layer of plastic around each pizza, automatically cutting the wrap to fit. A vision control system takes a picture of every pizza, verifying the size and checking for any imperfections. The machine automatically rejects any less than perfect pizzas by air blasting them into a separate tub. Finally, an arm pushes each pizza into a waiting box. All that's left now is to heat it up and dig in.